Would I be the asshole if I told my younger sister's fiance that she lied about my older sister when they met? Okay, so to set the scene here, we have my older sister Kay, female 32, my younger sister Jay, female 28, my younger sister's fiance Matt, male 32. Kay and Matt met at work about 2.5, 3 years ago. He was hired in as a consultant at her company on a few months assignment. They became close, but nothing happened because they probably didn't think it was professional. I think both, or I know that my sister at least, was hoping that it would develop to something more when his assignment was completed. Kay is a very shy and private person, but even with that, she couldn't stop talking about Matt to both Jay and me. When she turned 30, we encouraged her to invite him to her birthday with the rest of her close friends from work. She was very hesitant and panicked at first, but then she thought, yeah, why not? His assignment was almost done anyways. Matt and Jay, my younger sister, met at that party. 6 months later, Jay told us that she and Matt are a couple. This devastated Kay, and I knew that, even though she held herself together and pretended to be happy for them. I almost made her confess her heartbreak to me because I just couldn't let her hurt alone without any support. She said that she wasn't angry or disappointed, that after her birthday, he changed towards her, and he was even a bit angry. Then when he left, he stopped talking to her. Kay said that she probably misinterpreted his interest in her. I know that she is still heartbroken about it. Matt was assigned with her company some more times again, and it was awkward at first, but eventually they were friends again. Now he's a part of the family. Kay never showed that she's hurt though. Now, I found out that Jay told Matt that Kay had a boyfriend at that birthday party. Matt is very handsome and lovely, and Jay basically wanted him. Matt was shocked at first because he was hoping for something more, but he probably just thought that he too had misinterpreted Kay's interest in him. He is very shy too. After the party, he probably decided to cut his losses and not pursue Kay. Jay, however, kept contacting him, asking him out, being supportive. At first, he refused, but then they started dating. How do I know all of this? Jay's roommate spilled the beans to me, thinking I already knew everything. I am closer to Jay than my older sister Kay. Matt has now proposed to Jay. I feel sick because I want to tell Matt what happened so he makes an informed decision. Marriage is not a game. At the same time, he and Jay seem to be perfect for each other, and the love is genuine. Maybe he was interested in Kay initially, yes, but obviously it wasn't that deep. Also, Kay, I want to tell her, but she seems okay with the relationship now too. She made it clear that Matt and Jay obviously are meant to be, or it wouldn't have happened. But I want to tell. Would I be the asshole if I told everyone what happened?
I wouldn't tell. Like, everybody's at peace now with their choices in life. It's been time.
Oh,
you're gonna put two sisters against each other. Matt's get like the mess. It's
going to be a mess.
It's gonna be a mess. Like, do you really want to do that? And you're about to like ruin a relationship. Kay is over it now.
Is she though? I guess maybe that's where I would start.
Would you?
I have a really hard time with secrets.
Oh,
and
I'm good at secrets.
I feel bad because like they could have been each other's perfect match, and then literally this little asshole of a little sister comes in and sabotages and lies to him.
But they could have been, but like they also had an opportunity. Clearly they both were shy and they both were like edging. Like maybe it would have never gone anywhere.
But maybe that night he was gonna do it.
I know, but
maybe that night. And then this little fucker comes in. She has a boyfriend, you know? She doesn't have a boyfriend, bitch. Come on.
But here's the thing. The end result, I don't think there's a high probability that if OP goes and tells family that this is happening, it's not like Kay and Matt are going to go run off into the sunset now. Like, that's tainted.
What if they did, though?
There's a very low probability that that's going to happen.
I think I'm just such a hopeless romantic, and I really do believe in soulmates.
Oh, no, see.
And so I'm like, is it your soulmate if you had to lie and manipulate to get him?
Oh.
But I do see where you're coming from.
I don't
tear their family apart.
I don't not believe in soulmates. I don't really think about it that much, I guess. But like, I believe.
I think about it daily.
Do you feel you found your soulmate?
Yeah.
Oh, cute.
But he doesn't believe in soulmates, so I don't know.
Oh, see, like, I don't believe there's just one person for everybody. I think you can make it work with a lot of people. And I feel like he's making it work with Jay. And they're clearly revving up to get married. So obviously, hopefully, there's a lot of similarities to be able to have a really strong life together. And yes, there was some hitching going on in the beginning. And like, kind of fuck you, Jay, for doing that to Kay.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know that it would have happened with Kay and Matt. It seems like they both were just like at the 8th grade dance waiting for the other to make the move, but they're both sitting
know.
on the sidelines.
Top comment. Wow. Sister is ... something.
Yeah.
She certainly didn't consider anyone else when she made her decisions back then. I would probably say something so he can make an informed decision, but be prepared for the backlash.
Mhm.
And that's, I mean, that is what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
it is going to be.
It's going to be really messy, and there's going to be a lot of heartbreak for 3 parties.
OP responds.
Okay.
The thing is, they are great together. He and Kay are so much alike, both shy and introverted and very calm. Jay is a social butterfly, and he has even said that she has taken him out of his shell. So I don't know. My only thought is I would have wanted to know. But if I tell, am I ready for the backlash?
I don't really feel like you are. I get it, but I don't think the benefit outweighs the mess here.
Bride made profit on Bachelorette. Sister-in-law drama. So much tea. I'm glad I can spill to my Reddit community because I can't gossip about it to my family. So about 6 months ago, the bride planned her destination Bachelorette trip and charged each of the 11 girls $650 for the Airbnb. I was salty about the high cost, but it's my sister-in-law, so I sucked it up and I paid her. I also was suspicious about the high as fuck price, so I did cross-check the Airbnb listing and it checked out. Yes, this bee wanted a $2,300 a night beachfront house. Well, today I'm chatting about wedding stuff with my brother, who is marrying my future sister-in-law, and he said something along the lines of, quote, "What a relief her dad paid for the Airbnb, because that would have been so expensive for your group." I about choked. I said, "Hey, are you sure about that? Because all 11 girls paid $650 for the house alone. Maybe run it by her, ... His face turned purple, so I take it he had no idea. To add to the greed going on here, when I got married, I flew her out, paid for her accommodations, paid for hair and makeup, paid for her bridesmaid's dress, and paid transportation because she was going through a hard time. Now, she has the balls to steal from me? I get that weddings are expensive, but don't have one if it requires stealing from your bridesmaids. I'm assuming I'm the only bridesmaid who is aware of what's going on here. Not sure if I should spill to the group or just let it go. There's a chance her dad stepped in and paid for it after the fact, and she just chose not to refund us. I'm not clear on the exact situation, and I want to avoid embarrassing my brother. Update number 1. Thanks for all of the advice and support. Yes, I agree with most of you who are saying I'm morally obligated to spill the beans because $650 is not child's play. This is what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to talk to my brother and give him a chance to clear it up with sister-in-law. Before I make a scene, I want to understand what's really going on. For example, did daddy pay for the trip, but sister-in-law decided to put that towards a different wedding expense? Things like that. That answer will determine when/how I tell the rest of the bridesmaids. I'm going to give my brother only 1 to 2 days because this trip is literally next week. So update number 2, which is coming 3 days after update number 1. All right. So I regrouped with my brother. My mom also stepped in, bypassed my brother, and got some more info directly from her dad. All caps, here's the tea. Future sister-in-law's dad did not offer to cover the cost until a few months after we all paid for the trip. This was after he found out the cost and was pissed that she chose a $2,300 a night house and then asked us to pay. Apparently, he threatened not to pay for the wedding if she added more expenses onto the wedding party. Turns out, she originally wanted
nice
it in the Maldives, and he forbid her. According to my mom, who chatted with him directly, he felt embarrassed when he heard about the Airbnb price and wanted to save face with my side of the family. So he gave sister-in-law about $7,000 to cover the cost of the house. She was supposed to refund us, but obviously that never happened.
Oh, that's shitty.
All caps. This is where it gets good. So my mom went total FBI and learned that in addition to not paying us, sister-in-law didn't put the money towards a different wedding expense either. All caps. She doesn't have it. So where did it go? What did she spend it on? There is currently a full-blown investigation going down between our two families right now. I've been asked by my mom not to alert the bridesmaids just yet until we get the last bits of info and come to a resolution with both sister-in-law and her dad. But we will tell them ASAP, one way or another. And we'll come back tomorrow with another update. Wow, crazy. Update 3, which is the very next day. The plot thickens. Am I the asshole for not letting my toxic sister-in-law have my mother's dress? Excuse my language. English is not my first language. So for some context, I, 25 female, married my husband, 27 male, after being together for almost 10 years. We've now been married for 3 years. Everyone from my side of the family was so happy for our relationship and was on board with our marriage. But my husband's side of the family didn't like our relationship, and my mother-in-law wanted my husband to get married to another woman. My husband has a brother and a sister, and he has a strained relationship with everyone in their family. My father-in-law, the sole decision maker in their house, wanted this marriage as it would be an advantage for his business with my brother. My brother has a very successful business, and my father-in-law needed a business contract from him. And so he reluctantly agreed to our marriage. I live in India, so it's very common to live as a joint family, but we wanted privacy and decided to live on our own. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law constantly try to create problems between me and my husband. They often come to our house and find faults with my way of running a family. So this one time they came over to our house and they were super nice to me. We had our lunch, and after, my mother-in-law demanded that I give my mother's red sari, it's an Indian garment, to my sister-in-law, along with a jewelry that my dad himself made for my mother. That piece of clothing and jewelry has a very sentimental meaning to me. Dad and mom are no longer with us. Even I don't wear it unless it's to a very, very important event. The last time I wore it, it was to my wedding. I told them very nicely that I won't be able to give her the sari, as it's very important to me. Now, my mother-in-law is calling me selfish for not sharing the sari with my sister-in-law, as it's very common to share clothing and jewelry. I told them that I'm willing to share any other clothing and jewelry, but not this one. But they only want this sari. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law went on and on about how I haven't adopted to their family traditions and haven't taken their family name and stuff. My husband is on my side, and he has also explained to them how important this is to me, but they accused me of changing their son and being the reason that he doesn't love them anymore. He asked them politely to leave our house and not to cause any more problems. They say I'm causing a big fuss over a sari, but it's not just a sari or a piece of jewelry to me. Am I the asshole for not giving them this sari?
No. Oh my gosh. My heart is pounding for this girl. There's so many layers to this, but no, you're not the asshole. It seems like the sari is just a gateway to a ton of other issues. In India, there's a lot of kind of mother-in-law horror stories that happen with brides, and it's heartbreaking. So many people, I couldn't name one family that doesn't have a situation like that to some degree of mother-in-law doesn't like bride, mama's boy, whatever. I'm not saying this guy's mama's boy. I don't know. But before you even said the word India, I was like, damn, this feels like this feels like more people. And sure enough, but I was like, oh, maybe it's somewhere else. Nope, they're Indian. I have saris from my nani, which is my grandma, from my mom's wedding too, that are so sentimental, and I don't even touch them either. It's so sentimental and there's so much value, and I would only ever wear it to my wedding too. And I think that they should understand that if they're wanting to connect with her at all and understand how emotional, the emotional ties she has to this garment.
Yeah.
Also in India, do you know how much fabric there is available you could remake that sari. You could go buy the same sari at the same, if it's an older one, you can get it remade very similar. Why do they have to have that one? I think they're fixating on something to try and turn the son against them. And it's not helping the mom's case and the sister's case that he's backing his wife, which is so refreshing to see, because
I know
a lot of men in my experience don't. They'll just cower to the mom because they're used to it and leave the wife hanging. So good on him for supporting his wife.
he's really going to bat and advocating for her. It is interesting that she is being very open and any other piece of clothing, any other jewelry, but not this. And it's interesting that they went and are almost going after these two pieces because of the significant value. It almost feels like it's some sort of power struggle to we're gonna take this, we're gonna use this, and you're gonna like it. I'm really glad she did say no and was able to hold on to that and not fall into the people pleasing or trying to not rock the boat, because it's easy to do that. It's easy to just be okay, yeah, and then worst case, something terrible happens to this sari, she never gets it back, or it gets spilled on, it gets torn, it gets ruined. It's just so odd. And it's you're trying to mend this relationship because it is strained, and yet you're not respecting her and you're not willing to value. It's so crazy. It's her parents are gone.
I know.
This is maybe one of the only things she has.
But I'm not even surprised at all about this story. Like, I think they're testing her to see if she'll budge for the sake of like the larger family. It's very uncommon for families to live apart. Everybody lives in the same household. That's how my families grew up too. Grandparents, your siblings, aunts, uncles, however many people can fit. So there's already probably a power shift there between the parents who've been controlling their choices all their lives. And now all of a sudden your son could have been the one to be like, I don't want to live with my parents anymore. But they're going to blame the daughter because of course she's the new person in their life.
Easy.
And so I feel like the parents are probably just trying to test with the thing that they know she's not going to be willing to give up. And yes, we share lehengas and saris and stuff like that. But for me, I would not necessarily, for somebody that I don't like think has my best interest at heart, I'm not going to give you my wedding outfit, especially if it's from somebody else in my family that I'm like no longer have. I'd frame that. I would frame that sari. Like
I would too. I'd be in a box. You said something and it just like turned a thought in my head. Maybe the reason they asked for that sari and jewelry is because they knew she would say no.
Yeah, that's what
and
I'm
then
saying.
It's all the more reason to be like, well, she's not being a family member and she doesn't like us. It's like, it's just the perfect ammo.
Yeah. They're fishing for her to finally do something that's against them, to tell the son, like, look at what you're, like, she's not even giving your sister her outfit. Like, it's not even a big deal type of thing. And I'm so thankful that he's defending his wife in the situation because, again, I really don't think that's that common. Poor girl. She's probably like, did I make the right choice? Now, like, there's a strain here. But I mean, I hope she knows that she absolutely did. I would not. No, she's not the asshole.
Not
in
the asshole at all.
Oh, sweet angel.
Am I the asshole for not attending the wedding of my cousin and my ex-boyfriend? I, 32 female, was engaged. Ex-fiance was engaged to marry Travis, 33 male. But a couple of weeks before the wedding was supposed to take place, he said that he didn't want to get married. I asked him if he was cheating, and he said no. He told me that most of his friends were already marrying or starting families, so he thought it was time to settle down. But he had just realized that he didn't want to. Suffice to say, the wedding was canceled, and that was the end of our relationship. It's been about a year since that happened. Things haven't been exactly great, but I've managed. Well, some days ago, I received an invitation to the wedding of my cousin, Taylor, 26 female. Imagine my surprise when I read it and saw that my ex-fiance was the groom.
Good riddance.
I had only seen them barely interact during family meetings. I hadn't noticed any clues that pointed to anything happening between the two of them at the time. Some info about my cousin. She's what some people would call a free spirit. She doesn't have a conventional job. She works as an artist. She dyes her hair in unusual colors, sometimes blue, sometimes green, and dresses extravagantly. Once she wore a white robe, another time she wore a black leather jacket and spiked boots. She says that she doesn't like following society's rules and that she only follows her own code. Immediately, I called my parents. I asked them if they had known something about Taylor's relationship with Travis. To summarize, yes, they did. They hadn't intended on telling me because they figured out there would be no positive outcome to it, but they also made it clear that they expected me to come to the wedding anyways in order to show support to my family. At this point, I lost it and shouted that they were delusional if they believed that I would go to the wedding of my cheating liar ex and his manic pixie dream girl. They said that I can't keep holding on to my hatred and resentment forever and that I need to let it go. I hung up on them. My extended family has been blowing up my phone since then, saying that I'm a bad person if I don't attend. Right now, I feel so confused, betrayed, and disappointed. I'm no longer sure if I'm being irrational or not. So I think it might be best to ask for an outside point of view.
Okay, your family sucks. Your ex-fiance sucks. Your cousin sucks.
Everyone sucks. Except OP.
Wait, I cannot believe Junie's up in arms too right now. She's like, no, the cousin. She's like, not the cousin. She's like, the cousin, disgusting. No, that's actually insane. I actually can't believe that.
The gaslighting they're doing to her.
Also, I cannot imagine like not even knowing that your cousin is getting married to your ex and your parents didn't tell you. Your family knew and they never even told you.
It's just weird. Like, it's always more hurtful to be lied to for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Even if it's lying by omission. Just tell me.
Yes.
Give me the choice and the opportunity to not care, or then at least be able to process my feelings a whole lot sooner.
Yes, 100%.